I imagine it waking up like it's like 11 a.m, 12 p.m. or whatever, and you sort of scroll on your phone, make some shitty food, eat some Cheetos, sit back down on your phone.
Eating better, waking up earlier, getting sun in the morning, looking after your actual health. But I'd say the best thing you can do is just turn. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 1% podcast. Today I'm here with Will and Hayden. Today we're going to be talking about breaking bad habits and getting out of a rut. So I feel like this is the core of self-improvement. It's getting from A to B. So we're going to discuss a few points, how to get out of a rut, what makes you get into a rut. We're going to be discussing dopamine, and we're going to be discussing our personal stories and how we got out of a rut and on self-improvement. All right, so first, what is a rut? You looked that up, Lockie? What is a rut?
A habit or pattern of behaviour that has become dull and unproductive, but it's hard to change.
Spot on. That is spot on.
That is exactly right. I feel like so many people are stuck in a rut, especially my audience. I mean, I feel like that is literally the people that we are trying to help. I was stuck in this for a really long time, and you guys were too.
Oh, this was my life up until I was about.
This is our life up until probably last year, I'd say.
Yeah, 4 years of just shit.
Yeah, so like, how would you say like you got into a rut?
I suppose it's just, I mean, we're talking about this last episode. It's literally just the people you hang around. So if the other guys you're hanging around are encouraging that sort of lifestyle, you will subconsciously get into a rut.
Yeah.
Because that sort of stuff is promoted. So going out, drinking, falling into normality, social conditioning, that's all just going to make you fall into the path of a rut. And you're going to go into it without even really realizing.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is also not having your purpose, because it's like, what else are you going to do all day? Because if I were to like actually describe a rut, I imagine it waking up like it's like 11 a.m, 12 p.m. or whatever, and you're meant to get up early, and you don't do it, and then you just sort of scroll on your phone. You might crawl into the kitchen, make some shitty food, eat some Cheetos, sit back down on your phone, watch some TikToks. Like, that is like the lifestyle of a rut, I feel like.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. And all those different variables, just the little things, this is what people don't realize, it's the little things that compile up over time that is going to make you feel quote unquote depressed or like shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about really just ticking off the boxes, sort of like eating better, waking up earlier, getting sun in the morning, looking after your actual health.
I think that's the biggest part. Is like you can spiral down into bad health.
Yeah.
If you just increase your health, get sunlight, get your vitamins, eat properly, like it's a lot harder to get into a rut. Also, alcohol is massive, because that'll force you to be in a rut the next day, and then you're also going to be suboptimal for the next 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, literally. A lot of it was also just increasing your testosterone, but like I said, it's those little things that are going to slowly just tick your testosterone down and down and down. So for instance, sleeping in or not getting enough sleep, or oversleeping, not eating the right foods, so eating a lot of estrogenic foods like fast food, anything processed.
Yeah, I definitely think increasing your testosterone.
Increasing testosterone is the biggest one, because you think of the stereotypical guy full of testosterone, so you think of like trade bosses. This is what I noticed while I was in the trade for a really long time, is they fucking get up, they talk to the managers of other companies, they go and they do what they need to do. They're not stuck in a rut. That's why they're the boss.
I've noticed a lot with people when they first get into their rut, it's the need of quick money because of how expensive everything is these days. They just say they're going to get a job to make quick money and then figure it out later. They get the job and then they just get stuck in it.
All jobs are basically manufactured now so that you can live with the money you're making, but you can't do anything else with it. And even if you're making you've got one of the higher up jobs where you're making, like, let's say 100k a year, right? So you can level up and you can get your promotions, but lifestyle inflation is going to happen. You're going to get like the nicer rent, you're going to get the nicer car, the girlfriend's going to come along and say, hey, I want the new Chanel bag, I want the new Louis bag, whatever. All that stuff's going to, like, you're never going to, you're always going to be stuck there on a wage.
Because even when you start making more and you're buying nicer things, the leftover money is the same, and you're going to get used to the nicer things anyway. So it's realistically, you're not really living any better than the people that are on 60,000 a year, 50,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay guys, quick intermission. I hope you're all enjoying the podcast so far. As a lot of you will know, we are not sponsored by anyone. Anything shown or promoted on this podcast was either made or owned by us. So if you are enjoying the podcast, what you can do to support us is hit that subscribe button and click on notifications if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, you can favorite this podcast so you don't miss out every single time we upload. A new episode is put out Friday, 6 p.m. every week. We talk everything self-improvement, from gym, mindset, money, and we try and make every week as exciting as the last one. With that being said, all of the other links to our self-improvement clothing, our socials, and all other projects, it's all down below, so go check that out. But without further ado, here's the rest of the podcast. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I think a lot of getting out of it right also is just life setup. So set your life up in a way,
100%.
structure it in a way that is going to make you feel better long term.
Yeah, a big one would be also where your phone is when you wake up. I've built the discipline where I can have my phone next to me and I pretty much just get straight out of bed. But a lot of people can't control that. So like they'll just pick their phone up and then they'll stay on there for 2 hours, still in bed with the covers over them. Yeah, it's gonna make you feel like shit.
It's a lack of self-control these days that I think is manipulating a lot of people. But let's just list off a few of the things. Let's list off the main things to cut out. So let's be productive here. Let's list off the main things to cut out to get out of that shitty mental state, that sort of lethargic rut that these people are in. Yeah. So, like you said, phone.
It's like have it on the other side of your room. So then when the alarm goes off, oh fuck, you got to get out of bed because it's going to annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's what I've started doing too.
All notifications off for all social media and that. Turn that all off.
Yep. I've had mine off for ages.
Delete all games because like why do you need to play games?
If you're a grown man, what are you playing games?
Especially on a phone.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest game changer that I've noticed. Like these guys promote a lot of different tactics and stuff, you know, like these 5 quick habits to build to become a high value man or whatever. But I'd say the best thing you can do is just turn notifications off. Instagram, Snapchat, Snapchat, and just don't even have TikTok. So
I reckon delete Snapchat.
You can actually delete Snapchat.
Why do you need it?
You don't. You literally don't need Snapchat. Like another thing is like if you're sitting on Snapchat taking photos of your face, just your forehead, and like just sending it to a list of people, like what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like that's borderline brainless. It's a mental illness or something.
It'll just be like their forehead.
It's just stuck in a loop because no one ends the conversation. It's just forehead over forehead.
But what's the point? You have better things to be doing. This is all just little distractions. It's gonna just stray you away from your fucking purpose.
Like this is what it looks like.
That is spot on.
It's such a waste of time, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to build something productive. That is just going to chew up the little time you have.
Yes.
What a waste. And that's where you get stuck and then you get on the other apps and all that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. That's what I realized. Just like keeping your days like super packed full of tasks.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really have an option but to just like, you need to get shit done so you don't go on your phone. Like sometimes I forget I have a phone and there's probably people messaging me, but I'm so dialed into like,
it's the same thing. I've got messages banked up for weeks. It's like I can't even bother replying to it because I have too much shit to do. And this is like what I was going back to, tradie bosses, and this is what it's an actual thing that I've seen. Like they barely use their phone.
No.
Yeah.
They don't have time. They literally don't have time.
It's only to fill up being bored, but for them people who are always on their phone, they don't plan anything because they're on their phone. So it's just a big loop.
I don't even know how you can be bored if you should always have something to do.
You should never be bored unless it's like you're just going to bed, maybe for a little 5 minutes before bed. But even then, it's not good.
I don't think I've been bored in like years.
I haven't been bored in years.
I forgot boredom was a thing.
Yeah.
I actually forgot boredom was a thing. Maybe when I'm meal prepping, I'm just like waiting for the beef to cook or whatever. That's like
waiting for stuff to cook. Is like,
I'm bored.
Yeah.
So what I found, what I did is I overloaded myself with work, and that might be pretty bad for you or whatever. But like, if you overload yourself with work, like you said, you're constantly trying to do things, and if you've actually got a end goal or a purpose, you can fill your day up with just the tasks in order to get closer to that. It's like a game, like we were talking about last episode. If you just gamify it, find your end goal, you just want to clock the game as soon as possible. Just like GTA 5, you want to get to the end as quick as possible. So you fill your day with productive stuff.
When you have your day just packed full of stuff, you sleep like a baby.
That too, you sleep way better.
You sleep
as soon as you hit the bed.
Let's talk about oversleep as well, because I feel like oversleep is a lot of, especially like young people, they do this like during the holidays or whatever.
That's more of an issue than not enough sleep.
I feel like it is too, Being lethargic is completely different to being tired from not enough sleep.
Yeah.
So if I oversleep and you get sort of like a headache, you feel really sluggish, that is way worse than feeling tired.
And also, like, if you wake up and you feel like shit, you're going to roll with that for the rest of the day. Even put on your dressing gown or some shit.
Yeah.
But people oversleep and then they sit in bed for another hour or two scrolling on the phone, which that's like terrible. That's just going to attack you.
All right, so let's talk about the optimal morning routine then.
Yeah.
The optimal morning routine, the first thing to do when you get out of bed.
I'd say you literally could just link the Andrew Huberman video on his morning routine. So it's pretty much just waking up after about 8 hours sleep, get sunlight ASAP. If you're gonna have caffeine in the day, wait 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So I try to wait 2 hours before I have my first caffeine for the day.
Yeah.
Because then you're not blocking your adenosine, and if you have caffeine really early in the morning, all you're doing is delaying the adenosine, which adenosine makes you tired for people who don't know. You're pretty much just blocking it, and then it's going to hit you way later in the day. So wait 90 minutes to 120 minutes, have some caffeine, and then do some light exercise first thing in the morning, because this just gets everything running.
Get the blood flowing.
Yeah, it gets the gears turning. Later in the day, you can do your heavy exercise, building muscle, or whatever it is. But yeah, I say just, if there was 2 things, get sunlight, drink water, and then those 3 things, then exercise.
Yeah, no one drinks water these days.
No.
You need to have one of those big 2 litre bottles and drink 2 of those a day. Try to drink 2 of those a day. If you got 3 litres, that's not that bad. One of these will cost you like $5, maybe not even. If you get the BPA ones that leak BPAs, you might be able to find them for $2, manufactured in China.
Actually, I'm just gonna shock everyone here. Every plastic has BPAs, even if it says BPA free.
Yeah, it still has residues.
It's BP. Like, you could look this up. What other chemicals are in plastic? I know there's BPAs.
DBP, DEHP.
DEP. Yeah, so there's all sort of MP, 3PAP fucking shit in there, and it's all estrogenic, but there's some things you can't avoid. Like, my water bottle is plastic.
There is some things you can't avoid. Yeah.
What about the tin ones?
Yeah, you can get stainless steel.
Stainless steel. They also keep it colder better.
Pretty much just sunlight, water, and light exercise, and that'll pretty much cure most of your lethargia or whatever you have, like oversleeping.
Like, can you actually quickly look up just the main symptoms of oversleep? I can almost guarantee describe how you feel a lot of the time.
Feeling unusually tired all the time. The need for daytime naps. Feeling drowsy despite sleeping and napping. Not feeling refreshed on waking up. Difficulty thinking and making decisions. Apathy. Memory or concentration difficulties.
Yeah, that literally sounds like a lot of the people I talk to.
Yeah.
So you're just probably oversleeping or even undersleeping.
I used to be like this. This is when I would classify myself in a rut. This is when COVID hit and I was still in school, and we were doing like the online. I wasn't attending the online classes. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people weren't. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do that for? But I just wake up at like 11 a.m. after going to bed at like 11 p.m. So I'm like 12 hours sleep, and I feel like shit. I literally walk out of the bed still with the doona. I was like, oh
man.
It was the cringiest lifestyle. Chuck on Minecraft. I had this Minecraft for what I was working on for ages.
Yeah, but so I'm going to get on the controversial side of the internet now, but I feel like it's really dangerous now when you see all these headlines, like they give out these statistics for depression, and they give like this depression like it's something that, like, what do they say, like 60% of people have or whatever. But it's going to be so dangerous when you come out of bed, you're saying you feel like that, and then you see on all the headlines, you probably have depression, take these drugs, it'll make you feel better. When in reality, all you got to do is just tweak these little lifestyle changes, and you can feel so much better. And the proof's in the pudding. I think everyone in this room have made these little tweaks, and their lives have changed.
I thought I was depressed.
So did I.
I was like, fuck, I've been dealt the bad hand. I'm just one of those people that got dealt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I started going to the gym, and then I started actually doing stuff with my life. Started drinking water, started fixing up my diet. Like, poof, it's gone.
Gone.
Main thing that's crazy is always keeping busy. If you have no time to think about stupid shit,
a man needs to keep busy because a testosterone fueled man is busy as fuck. A productive thing I like to do is think about how the primal days would be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it sounds stupid, it does sound silly, but I think when you actually think of it like this, so what is a caveman doing? So he's going out, he's waking up, he's got to feed the tribe. He goes out, he hunts his food, he gets the food, he takes it back. They eat the food. And if they don't stop hunting, they die.
Yeah.
If they don't stop, it's just everyone's too comfortable now. Everyone's way too comfortable.
It all comes down to human nature. Like, you don't see animals who are still living the way we used to live years ago. You don't see them just sitting around sleeping all day. They're sitting around doing shit.
Exactly. This sounds controversial as fuck, but I had someone in my DMs pretty much telling me, oh, I'm depressed, I feel slow, I don't want to do anything. And I pretty much just told him, like, how do you have time to be depressed? You should have your day full of stuff to do. And it sounds like it might be harsh or whatever, but that's just the reality of it. If you're a man, you got to get up and you got to do shit.
And I don't want to make it seem like we all wake up and we're just like, yes, we're so fucking ready, you know? Like,
no, I'm not.
Our lives aren't just constant euphoria. We do feel like shit some days. We wake up and we're like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. Like, you know, tasks I have to do, fuck it. But like, you get up and you do it. You think what a caveman doesn't wake up and go, I don't feel like this. He'll just die.
Exactly.
So we could just chill here and we could do fuck all for the rest of our lives because it's so easy. We could just go on Centrelink and then we could just sleep on some like government welfare thing.
Yeah.
Sleep in some bed and
You're happy at the end of the day if you accomplish something you didn't want to do in the first place.
100%.
Yeah.
And once you get past that, like say for instance, first thing in the morning, you're like, I don't want to go to gym. Fuck this. But then you do the gym and you're like, hang on, that wasn't so bad. Now I feel G'd up and I feel good like I do every day.
Good example is the ice bath. I despise that, but if I do it, I feel amazing after it.
Like I said last episode, pain is pleasure. So
It's the opposite of like scrolling social media or eating some shit food. Instead of going up and crashing down, you crash down so you can go back up.
yeah,
It's such a simple concept, and I feel like if a lot of people just understood the way that dopamine works, because dopamine is literally the molecule that's responsible for drive, motivation, which everybody lacks. So if you can control that, you can be like G'd up. Like you can just plow through shit in the day, and you're always going to be motivated.
Worse than scrolling is drinking with dopamine.
I'm not sure actually. I don't know.
No, you'd think it's poison.
Drinking, I don't think. Look, if you're drinking every single day, then you're an alcoholic, and that's obviously you fucked your life up at that point. Drinking every weekend is also really bad because like the weekend's the time where you need to.
Weekend's the most important time. Like
weekend's the most important time.
You get a whole day where you get like, especially if you're working a lot of hours and you have the weekends free, you need to leverage those.
Yeah.
Not the actual drinking alcohol itself. Like I would be drinking all night, and then the next day I'll be in bed all day just scrolling and sleeping.
Yeah, because you feel like shit.
It leads to the same
Yeah,
thing.
like, it's like so if you drink on Saturdays, which like 90% of Aussies do our age, if you drink on Saturdays, then your Sunday is also fucked. So that's 2 days out of the 2.5 days you've got to build anything, and that's where you get stuck.
Well, I think it's a lot more than that. If you even have one night of drinking like 3 or 4, you're gonna drink way more than that.
Yeah.
If you have a night of drinking a lot of alcohol, that writes you off for a lot of days. Because, like, let's say for instance you're going out on a Saturday, you spend most of the Saturday getting ready. Then you go to your boy's house, you have pre-drinks, and then by that time, like your whole day, your Saturday's gone.
Yeah.
And Sundays you feel like shit, and then Mondays you got to go back to work again.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's how people get fuck all done.
And it's like we're not 4 nerds sitting in this room right now. We've been through this, and that's why we want to discuss this because we've all done this. We've all been like the loose cunts, on the Saturday, sculling drinks down, thinking we were as cool as. We were cool as.
We were cool.
We were pretty cool. But like being in a rut is just stagnating. And that's what everyone is doing right now is just stagnating. And it's going to catch up to them later down the line.
That's it.
Because it happens to fucking everyone. It's like they say the trade sets you up for life. And I hate to bash the trade, but it's just like that's what I can give my personal experience on this. They say the trade sets you up for life. It's like it doesn't. A good lifestyle sets you up for life. So being in the trade doesn't set you up because most of the guys now, they're like 50, 60 and they're still renting. They have, they're renting. They're not happy. They're drinking. They're like, oh, this is why I drink. They're drinking. They're smoking. They're not happy, are they?
Like
they're not.
When the brickies, for them to have a thing that says deep heat is the brickies sunscreen. That's pretty fucked.
Yeah. When we were bricklaying, I remember the boys used to bring like there was deep heat. Everyone had deep heat on them. It's called the bricky sunscreen.
Yeah.
It's like you're always just sore. Your body's destroyed.
Set yourself up for life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucked.
Like I remember when I was working at the trade, daily I'd come home with blisters, cuts all over me from barbed wire, and they go, well, that's normal, you just got to toughen it out. Fuck that.
Yeah, well, especially if you're trying to go to gym and work in the trade. Like when I was labouring, and then I'd go home and train for 2 hours. Like my body I made like no progress because my body was fucked. I had no recovery.
A lot of the reason people can't get out of ruts is because they're too easy on themselves. And everyone says, society says at the moment, it's this sort of vibe of take it easy, just sail through life, take it easy, take rest, be comfortable, go and talk about your issues to everyone. It's this sort of this comfortable mentality, but you gotta be so fucking hard on yourself.
You gotta be savage.
You gotta be an absolute savage. Like Dana White was saying, if you are just that little bit more savage than the rest of these chumps, then you're just gonna run them all over.
Yeah,
you're just gonna run them all over.
Who said it? Even if you're a weekend savage, you're gonna win in life. The Dana White
said that.
Yeah, even if you're a weekend savage, like it's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true.
People aren't. They're not. I know it's shit to say, but they're just not hard on themselves.
They're not. Yeah, I think everyone hates like the older generation, the younger people. Like I give the older generation a lot of shit because they're like, just toughen up, you know?
Yeah.
Get up, stop crying. People go, oh, that's so old school. But like this.
No, I love it.
really not.
I love it.
I love it. It's
So like you understand why now when I used to fall off a bike and dad would say, get up, stop crying.
Yeah.
It's like, and then, you know, your mum would come to you and they say, oh, that's so terrible. And they'd alienate you from your dad because they'd be like, that's such a terrible thing. And they're like, they rub you and they make you feel alright. As a man, that's literally what you need.
Yeah.
It's like what I said in the last episode when I said, I think having female teachers teaching men can be pretty bad sometimes because they don't have the same like values, and they're not like men who will make you harder as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you fail a test or something, oh, it's all right, we can work this out.
That's not life.
It's not going to build you.
Yeah, it's not. It's like there's no one. Especially you realize this in business. There's no one ready to save you. It's like when we got this batch of clothes. It was like $3,000 worth of clothes, and they had these little ink stains on them. No one's coming to hug me or save me about this loss of funds that I've just had. No one's coming there to hug you and say it's all right. So you got to be mentally strong so that you can deal with stuff later down the line.
Yeah.
And there's nothing bad that comes from being mentally strong either. Like.
People think some miracle is going to happen to them one day, and they're just going to get handed everything. They're waiting for it. You can't. You have to make that happen.
Nothing's coming.
Nothing's coming to save you.
That's what I thought. Like way back when I was in a quote unquote rut, I would just wake up every day and be like, oh, it's all right. Someday something will happen. I'll win. Fuck, what I was thinking, like, I'd win the lottery, or I'll just chill. I'll just go with the flow, and then something will happen to me, and I'll be okay. Like, no, you're just going down a path where your life is going to be very shit. That's when I sort of just got my shit together. I realized, no one's coming to save me.
That's right.
Yeah.
But even in school, they say, it's all going to work out. If you don't find your purpose now, that's all right. Yeah. It's all okay. It's going to work out. We'll just sort of organize. No, your life is going to be so fucking shit if you don't figure it out early. Because you're just going to be left behind, and you'd be left like all the other guys who are just complaining about how that shit their life is.
It's these people that defend it as well, though. The people in the trade, they'll go, nah, but it's all right. I get the weekends, and I get to drink with the boys and all this stuff. But if you were to catch them lacking on a weekday and ask them how their life is, they go, I fucking hate this, man. It's funny because it's actually like, it's such a joke in the trade where, like, if you walk around a work site, you ask one of the blokes, like, oh, yeah, you going, mate? He's like, yeah, another day.
Yeah, it's that mentality.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not too interested in that part of it because, like, they're so old to the point where it's like...
It's more the young ones.
Look, if that's what their life is and, they say that that's all good, then... Whatever, but I'm just talking about the young guys. That's who I'm looking out for.
Exactly, the apprentices that get fucking abused.
The apprentices, yeah. It's shit like that. And not even just the trade, obviously. We're talking about everyone. Like, the trades aren't the only shit jobs, but... So I think the core of getting out of a rut or improving your life, self-improvement in general, the first thing you should definitely do is go to the gym or some other sport or physical exercise, because that is going to be the thing that you can do that will switch your mentality. It's just going to completely switch your mentality, and that's basically where we all started, and that's something you can do. It's really difficult to look at what everyone's doing in like the self-improvement thing where they're saying, get out, do this, chase this, find your purpose, do that, and it's really hard to to see that as a possibility when you haven't even got the basics done. So I'd say get into the gym and get your mentality right first.
I think like if I were to give like a step-by-step on how to actually do it, I would say find someone that can do something with you that's beneficial for your health. Most likely that's going to be gym. But I know people that sort of have the same mentality, that like cycling, running, anything where you're actually getting in shape, because that's literally the base of your mental state. So definitely find someone to keep you accountable. I'm sort of like, I had you do it, so it's like I didn't really have to go through this step, but I definitely think it's very important to find someone to be able to do it with you. But it's also important to be independent and be able to do it on your own as well. Yeah, but definitely find someone to keep you accountable, like an accountability partner. And just get your physical health in order first.
Find something that you're not really relying on anyone, like with soccer or footy or something. You're relying on a whole team to get you there. You have a coach to tell you what to do. With gym, I've noticed it's all by myself. I'm not really getting on anywhere unless I do it every single day. With gym, you can do it. You can do all the exercises when you straight away walk in there, but you're not seeing any results until like months down the line.
Yeah, it teaches you delayed gratification.
Yeah, find something like that. Because I've done all of the sports my whole life, and I didn't have anything like that because you're just relying on too much people.
I think it's a massive thing in Australia, like footy players, like you think because they've got their physical physical health in order, that they'd have good habits as well. But I think because it's a team-based thing and you can skip training sessions, it doesn't really matter how you perform. Like the team's still going to perform relatively
It's the culture.
the same. Yeah, it's also the culture though, because like
drinking.
because you win a footy game, you go back and smash beers down. It's like
Yeah.
all that physical health that you just put into the game just get destroyed with the outputs.
And another good one you said was cycling, because you're literally doing the same thing. To get good at it, you have to really do it every single day for hours on end. You can do it when you first start, and
That's it, and you only see progress when you show up.
That's exactly right. I think the biggest thing Jim has taught me is that input is output. And I think once you realize that as soon as you put in the work, you can actually see physically in the mirror the changes you're making. So once you realize that, you can apply the same knowledge into your business, into general life, self-improvement. And it just feels fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make though, and that's why a lot of people quit gym really early. It's because they don't wait to see the progress. Like after 6 months, you will see progress. Like 99.9% of people will see progress. But before that, you're probably not going to notice much difference, and that's when people quit. It's like if you just held out for 6 months, then you're going to actually start seeing progress, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm starting to look better. Like I'm going to keep going. But people don't make it that far.
It's taught me to have the patience to keep doing something over and over and over again, and then I had to take a photo of myself and then look back at it 6 months later. I'm like, fuck.
I'm so glad I did that. You don't want to be living in regret. But one question I think that overrules all of this and encompasses all of this is, if you can't answer this question, which is how bad do you want it, then don't even bother, because if you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to push through all the different steps. So you might be listening to this right now and you're getting G'd up, you're saying, look, I'm keen now, I'm keen, so all I have to do is go to gym and do this. But it's like, if you like sort of want it, and like most of the time you're not really thinking about it, but you like kind of want it, not really, and you want to, maybe I'll go to a gym session, I'll do some legs. And
Can't feel like going out this weekend.
Can't feel like going out this weekend though, but like a leg session, and it's only legs, I might cut the session short. Abs don't need that, calves don't need that. If you don't want it that bad, then it's just going to be very hard to push through the different steps to get to the end result. It's like the only reason I'm here now, I would say, is because I wanted it so bad. And I know Andrew Tate said this, but I'll say it as well, is I literally couldn't sleep at night. Like my mind was racing. I want it so fucking bad. I want it so bad. And you can't sleep. You can't, sometimes you're so just zoned out because the only thing you can think about is just achieving it.
That was me. I was like, I just looked at myself in the mirror when I was starting to gain weight and starting to get a bit chubby. I'm like, I can't let this just go on. It was almost a natural instinct for me to just, I need to look good, because there's guys here that do look good and I'm just there like, I can't like just accept that.
That's right. Yes, as well. I think getting fit and getting a physique is almost, that's the base. That's the mandatory thing you need to do as a guy. Because once you got that, it's going to be so much easier to do other things. Because first of all, you're respected. As soon as people see that, they're like, this guy knows how to work. He's got the discipline. If you can't stick to gym, then you can't stick to anything. I'm sorry.
But it baffles me though, because how everyone's not in the gym, because the return on investment going to the gym is crazy. It's like you just rock up for like an hour every day.
It's easy, man.
Fixes like 90% of your issues.
That's exactly right. It's the return on investment. Like I think about this a lot, like the return on investment on things. Return on investment in gym is by far one of the highest. Like you only need to go there 1 or 2 hours if you train hard. You have to train hard, otherwise you won't get results. If you train hard for an hour to 2 hours in the gym, 6 days a week, in a year's time, you are going to look like, fuck, man, so much better than you did when you walked in there.
I was thinking, it only takes 2 years and you look good.
2 years and you're going to look so much better.
You have to want it like bad though.
You have to want it bad.
The mindset you want to be in to want something bad is, you think, if I skip one day or don't eat this meal or have some fatty foods, you're going to deflate.
But yeah, that's why I always think it comes down to, like, it's just how bad do you want it? I see this in a lot of people because I've done a lot of coaching, just so free coaching, people in my DMs, talking to them, but like I can tell who wants it and who doesn't. And when they're messaging me like, yo, I've seen your stuff, but I'm sort of not doing this, but I want to do this, and it's like, fuck, mate, you have to fucking want it. Like, you have to not be thinking about anything else. Everything else is irrelevant. This could be the only thing you want. And that's how you're going to get the most results, I think. And this is another thing I've seen as well with Andrew Tate popping up. And a lot of people have said to me, like, is Andrew Tate like a threat? Like, because I know he's sort of in your niche. Is he a threat, whatever? And I said, it's not really, because a lot of people just watch the Andrew Tate content, but they don't want to actually take the action. Like, they think that they have it in them, but they just don't.
I still actually can't quite work out, like, what I need to tell them to be able for them to stick to it. It's almost like I still haven't quite worked it out, because there's been so many people who have like sort of like personally trained for a bit, and like they go for like 2 weeks of like told them everything they need to know. I've sent them the diets. I've sent them the workout programs, and then they're in there for 2 weeks, and they slowly just fade back out of it.
Yeah.
And like they'll skip a day, and they'll be like, oh no, it was just because this and this happened. I couldn't rock up to the gym. I'll get back into it tomorrow. And then the next day goes, and they like do a half-ass workout, and then they just fade back out of it. And that's what happens with like 90% of. I don't know what I need to tell them.
The only way to combat that. The only way is to get absolute dogs around you. Like, you just need to get tough people around you. Yeah. Get a good social circle.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just need to be a cunt to your friends.
You do, man. You do.
I've done this before where someone like has like sent me a video of them doing something else. I'm like, well, have you gone to the gym today? Otherwise, I don't give a fuck, mate. Like,
yeah,
get your ass in.
Build some enemies. No one has enemies these days. Like, if people don't hate you, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell people, like, you're not doing enough, mate. You're not doing enough. This is like, I do this with Hayden all the time, and like, but he understands it. It's all in good. It's all in good intention.
Yeah, well, that happens with me too. It happens with you. We call each other out all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
we catch each other lacking. On top of it.
That's exactly what brothers do, though, and that's why it's so important. I think that is what you were saying before, how like you can't quite figure out what to tell these people to actually just get them to keep doing it. And you're right. Some people just can't. You know, they can't do it. But
comes down to if they want to do it as well, though.
Yeah, it does.
So you can't get someone to do something, but you can help them find it within themselves. This was right. In How to Win Friends and Influence.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Great book.
You can't teach anyone anything. You can only help them find it within themselves.
Yeah.
Well, you can't tell someone to do... Like, yes, you could tell someone to do something, they might cooperate the first time, but they're going to resent you in the end. So you need to make them want to do it. You need to make them want to do something. So, like, if you wanted someone to go to the gym, for instance, you got to tell them the benefits of why they're doing that. Don't tell them, you need to go to the gym. I'm telling you, go to the gym. If you want one of your friends to improve, tell them, if you go to the gym, mate, you're going to look crazy. Like,
and then they say, fuck, how crazy will I look? And then you show them your results or you show them other results. Like, fuck, I could look like that. And that's a better way of doing it for sure. Instead of just saying, go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the gym.
It's like saying that they have a hidden talent in that sort of niche as well. So, like, for example, with the gym, I could say, oh, you have really good muscle insertion genetics.
Yes, that's
just... Oh, really? I could be 12% in this area. You know, it's similar things to, I don't know, like, if they're very smart when it comes to psychology or something like that. And they have hidden... talent in their mind.
Yeah, that's what I like to do with people too. Like, I really analyze them and say, fuck, you got strong points in here and here. And it makes me angry when they're not on, like, quote unquote self-improvement, because I'm like, bro, you could be doing so much with this. And especially with like muscle insertions and stuff.
That's what I do.
When you get into bodybuilding, you say, damn, you've got fucking potential, man.
Yeah, like,
what a waste.
Yeah, I like to analyze people like that. Like, they'll tell me they're getting in the gym. I'm like, yeah, bro, your back insertions, you got really high lats. That'll look aesthetic as
fuck. Like, you've already got a natural V tape.
Here's what you're gonna do, bro. You're gonna do some narrow grip pull-ups. That's what I did with Hayden. He was like my little lab rat. I took him into the gym. I was like, damn, man, if you just got in the gym, you'd be like strong as fuck. Because he had that.
At first, I was like, fuck off, waste of time.
Exactly. And I just saw you had a really good frame for it. And then obviously you went in the gym within like 6 months, you were like deadlifting 200 and benching 110. It's like,
but this is also why getting on self-improvement is so good, because you're a positive influence for everyone around you. If you're in a rut, you are most likely negative, and you're negative to everyone around you, and you're also influencing them to do bad things. Yeah. But naturally on self-improvement, you want to help other people. Like, you literally just want to help out other people. Yeah. It puts you in such a more positive mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that
changes your life.
It's that positive feedback loop. Like, I was such a negative person before, and I can tell whose lives are shit because they just inflict it on everyone else.
That is so true.
Like, they'll like, my comment section is a great place to find this. Like, if you just look on any comment section, it's all just people pointing out the bad things in everyone. And it's just like, it's because their life is shit and that's all they know. All they know is negativity. TikTok's the worst for this. TikTok's the worst for this. Because most people that are on TikTok have shit lives. Like, so it's like connected. That's why
the ones that wake up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and start scrolling.
Yeah,
exactly.
And this is another thing I want to say to you guys, is that once you sort of get in the groove of this, like, it's not that hard. And so once you get in the groove of it and you get that positive feedback, you start influencing other people, and then you build up a good social circle because of that. And then like, good things start happening to you. You start making more money. You start getting more fit. Like, once you're in that groove, it's like, it's automatic. It's automatic, and it's so much easier. The hard part is like the first 6 months to a year or however long that time frame. The hard part is the first bit, when you got to build up the motivation and all that.
Getting the momentum is what everyone struggles to do. And I just try to tell them, like, just stick to it for 6 months, and then after that, you're on autopilot. It's just, that's all you know. That's all you know. Like, I actually couldn't go back to my old life if I tried now.
It would kill me.
It would kill me. I'd be itching. I need to get something done. I need to do this, need to do this, and this, need to do this. But it's just, it's building better habits, I think.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would also be looking at this like, guys, you haven't transformed that much. All you've done is build a six-pack or whatever. All you've done is put on a bit of muscle, but it's more than that. It's the internal. It's the internal that completely flips, because that's all you are at the end of the day. All you are at the end of the day is your brain and just your internal.
Exactly.
Once you fix that.
That's what I tell a lot of people. I'm like, bro, just go to the gym because it'll fix your mental state more than it'll fix your physical state.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just... Because it's tight, especially with your diet. Your gut is actually like neurologically connected to your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what you eat will literally make you feel like shit.
Yeah, that's why I said last episode. I said a whole foods diet changed my life, and I can fucking confirm that.
Yeah,
it's the mental clarity you get,
especially like a very highly carnivorous diet where it's a lot of meat.
Yeah,
and sort of just cutting out like. It's probably bad to preach this online, but I don't eat any vegetables. I have a multivitamin.
Yeah.
I don't eat vegetables, but I feel amazing. So this whole eat your greens thing.
Well, it's like almost when I grew up, people would say, don't eat too much meat. Why not? Why not?
That's all we used to eat back in the day.
That's all we used to eat. We used to hunt down wildebeest and eat them. And it was like a lot of it is just programming from like mainstream media. So obviously a massive part of improving your life and getting out of a rut mainly is just building up the habits, getting rid of the bad habits, implementing good habits, because at the end of the day, that is your day, is habits.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I think a big thing is not getting just completely rid of the bad habits and then having nothing to do, just replacing the habits.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of drinking, like if you're doing that for like 4 or 5 hours, replace that with going to the gym and then eating some good food. Like, instead of just like cutting it out, because then you're just left there doing nothing, and then you're going to want to just go back into the bad habits. So it's like, say for instance, you spend an hour in the morning scrolling your phone, and then you stop doing that. Well, then you're spending an hour in the morning just sort of blank. It's like, you're going to get
you got to do something, and they're going to just fall into what they were doing before.
So it's like, just replace the bad habits. Like, instead of an hour scrolling on your phone, spend an hour doing some work or eating some food or cleaning or something. Just anything.
Yeah. So if someone is to the point where they have a physical sort of twitch to grab their phone, like it's at the point where they are so addicted, is that in the morning they have a physical, almost automatic muscle movement where they grab the phone and shit. Like, when they're at that point, how do you then convince them to stop doing that when they're so ingrained in their day-to-day activities? Yeah. What's going to incentivize them to get out of that?
It's very hard, because it's such a strong attachment. So maybe the first thing would be just deliberately not having your phone within reach. Because I've done this with water. Always having water within your vision is so good, because you're always just going to reach for and just have a sip of water.
Yeah.
That's how to get...
Yeah, so I suppose we can talk about environment then. So putting stuff in front of you that you want to do, that's massive. So for instance, you want to drink more water, get that 2-litre bottle, put it on your desk. Don't put anything that you can consume that's bad for you in front of you. So like, keep all the lot, don't even have lollies, anyway, but just keep that out of your vision. It's another thing, your phone, right? So your phone is probably the biggest distraction.
And if it's going to be within your reach, turn your notifications off. Or because like, as soon as you've opened the app, it's over. You're gonna, like, I've gone to upload videos, and even though I've built up such a strong mind and like all this discipline and stuff, it's so strong that I even find myself struggling just trying to upload a video.
The algorithm's too good.
It's too good.
It's way too good, because they're using God knows what technologies with the billions of dollars invested in that technology. Think about like the things they're using to, manipulate your human brain. Like, it's easy for them. It's easy. As soon as you click on that, and especially if someone's not disciplined at all, imagine that. You can stick on there for hours, man.
For an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, so you don't even need TikTok. You can delete TikTok off your phone. You just, trust me, you do not need that.
I'm probably just going to delete it now. I was posting on TikTok, but
I'm not even posting on TikTok anymore.
They're just banning videos now.
It's like, even videos where I tell people to, be accountable, or just say general like good things for your mental health, they completely remove it. Like, it's so obvious to the point that they have an agenda that it's like, I'm not even going to post on there anymore because it's pointless. I just get banned.
It's such a negative platform, not just the comment section, but even the stuff that pops up. Like, all I cared about was gym or something, but like, what was it, the war that was going on?
Yeah.
It was like popping up.
It's that pessimistic culture that's on, it's actually on all social medias, but it was most prevalent on TikTok.
It's like they want you to just see the negative side of the planet you're living on.
Yeah, well, they can't control you if you're mentally strong.
Yeah.
The news, like, you notice it's 80% bad stuff, 20% good stuff.
It's like, what do you need to know about some shit going on in Uzbekistan for? Like, you're in Uzbekistan.
And that also, if someone's in a shit mental state, that's going to sort of solidify them, give them this pessimistic view of the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what depression is. It's having a negative like view on the world.
Yeah. It's also just having so much focus on other shit that happens. Like, focus on yourself. Like so many people I've been talking to and they just know so much shit just about random stuff.
Yes, like I'm sorry, I've got no idea, man.
I don't know, man. I'm too busy focusing on like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's like your brain is just clogged up with so much shit.
Yeah, it's like backlogged with all this garbage that the media is presenting them. Like I'm a solid believer that they have a purpose to make men weaker because it's easier to control people who are weak. Like they don't want people stepping out and doing their own thing. Like that's terrible because we need the roads built, we need the houses built, we need people to be doing those shit jobs. Like the world would collapse if we didn't. So as soon as they have to keep promoting people to be weak because otherwise people are going to start stepping out and saying something. Yeah, that's terrible.
That's when a renaissance happens.
That's when you get banned off TikTok. Yeah, that's when you get cancelled. And I was like, maybe I'm Andrew Tate or something.
If you've got ideas, put them to use, write them down, use them in business or anything.
Just be active, go for a run, go kick the footy or something, like just anything that isn't sitting on your
I actually made a video was just like if you're in a rut or you're finding yourself in this like situation where you're like in bed, you're like crusty, all sweaty and like you haven't had a shower yet, like that sort of shit. Like it's like it was a step by step. It was like get up, get 20 minutes of sun, drink some water, go for a run, come back, and then tell me how you feel.
Like, yeah, exactly. And once you build up the habit of doing those things, it's going to take a while, and it might be you build up the habit of getting out in the sun first, and then you build up the habit of waking up earlier, and then you get in the habit of drinking more water. Once you build up those good habits, you won't even think about sitting in bed and feeling all crusty because it feels sort of uncomfy to be comfy at that point. It feels like gross and like
it does.
You sort of quiver at the thought of that. It's so grim and so sad.
It makes you almost hate sleep. Like if there was something I could take to make me not be able to sleep at all, I wouldn't because it's just a waste of time.
It's not enough hours in the day.
I
hate when I have to go to bed. I'm like, this is like 8 hours where I could be doing.
I know.
Yeah,
but you have to because you're tired.
That's what happens when you get so sold on your purpose and so get your vision so crystal clear. Is like. It's almost ridiculous how focused you are on it. Like, even though you need the sleep, you're like, I wish I didn't have to sleep right now. Yeah. I want to do the work.
Exactly. Like, I'm always so keen to just progress. Yeah. I'm always looking at the future. I'm like, I have the image of what I want my life to be. And then everything I'm doing towards, like, in the day is just stepping
towards that. And then people will come and say, you need to stop because you don't have work-life balance. It's like, well, this is just life. I like this. It's not even work. It's like what you want to do.
I hate that like work-life balance shit because like what is life to you? Like you got your work. What is life? Is that like
what is life?
Getting drunk? Is that going out and like just wasting your time? Like, but it's like when they say life, your life's not gonna get better if you don't put in the work like a lot.
It's like even like why don't you relax and watch some TV? It's like I don't fucking want to watch TV.
Exactly.
I want to do this.
How's that gonna help me?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I getting out of it? Nothing.
It just takes like you need to reframe your mind, but that sort of just happens naturally when you build up the habits. I think this is why I try to preach just building up the good habits because completely reframes your mind. Like the old me would have wanted to get back in bed, scroll TikTok, play Minecraft, whatever the fuck I was doing, but now I think of that stuff as like fuck that. Yeah, it would be so like boring. Like,
and the more you do those good habits and do like the hard things, it's going to promote more testosterone production, which is going to make you an absolute dog as well. Like, it's going to make you so much more of a stereotypical man. It's like how you were saying the other day that like when that guy came and approached you and was like, saying, oh, what are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Yeah.
If it was the old you probably would have just sat there or just walked off or pretended like you didn't hear it. But because you got that testosterone now, it was fuck off. Like,
Yeah, I think if you're a man, building testosterone will make you, like, being more of a man will make you happy. If you're a woman, being more of a woman will make you happier. It's just how it is.
Yep.
And that's why, like, all this gender, like, I don't know what I am. It's like, yeah, you know what you are.
Real and based.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's how you feel like shit. That's why they're always like, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. It's like, just...
Another risk of sticking in these ruts and staying in these ruts is you're going to get if you're a guy, you're going to get so estrogenic to the point where you're then confused about your gender. So you could fall so far into this rut where you then start questioning your gender.
That's what I think it is.
You're laughing, but this is true.
Yeah,
this is true. Yeah, and it's like when I've actually had people who are transgenders and I've talked to them and I'm saying, it's just, man, it's unfortunate because you could have just done the good habits. You could have just done the little things and you would have slowly, realized that I have a dick, I am a man.
It's funny because we live in a clown world.
It is because like it's because I already know people are scrolling to the comments ready to like type shit.
Yeah,
just saying this, but it's like be realistic. be realistic. It's like if you're a man, this is what I think transgender a lot of the time is. Like, you're a man and your bad habits have got you to the point where you've got almost as much estrogen as you do testosterone, and that's what it's like. You're in the middle ground, so it's like, fuck it, we might as well flip to the other side.
That's exactly right.
And start seeing it in their face when they...
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah,
You can. I've said this before. I have to be really careful because, like, I don't want to live in fear and like not being able to post it. But it's like more of a thing that I want to put this message out, and I can't if I get banned. But it's like they then become a super gender, and you go outside and you see this, and you can't tell whether they're a male or a female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because, well, when you build testosterone, you actually get a more masculine face. That's why, like, that's why obviously when female bodybuilders start taking testosterone and stuff, they start looking like men. Like, it'll literally reshape their face.
Yeah.
So it's like, also, if you want to be more attractive and look more masculine, boost your testosterone.
Boost your testosterone, and you will literally become more attractive. What we'll do now is we'll tell our backstories, because I feel like it's easier for you guys to listen to our stories and our anecdotes, so that you can sort of visualize how this could work for you. So, because we've all been in like a severe rut. Like, it wasn't even just, we were laying around in that, but we were doing, like, I don't know about you guys, but I was doing a lot of drugs, doing a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm actually qualified to sit here and talk about this stuff. Because I've been on both sides of the coin. Yeah. I've been at the lowest lows, and now I'm trying to go to the highest highs. It's like, not a lot of people experience that. Because
I got so... Okay, this is actually embarrassing to talk about, but I just want to be real and genuine with you guys. I got so low to the point where I literally had like a crisis, right? I shaved my head. I got like all these piercings, right? And I know it's fucking cringe to talk about. I got all these like septum piercings and even like the dermal and all that. And it's like, what was my purpose? Nothing. It wasn't. I was so fucked in the head that I did all that. And like, but I see people out and they're doing all this and they're getting all the piercings and shit. And it's a representative of their mind. And all I had to do was just those little habits. It was start going to the gym, start seeing the bigger picture, find my purpose, find what my end goal wanted to be.
It actually started with a clothing brand for you.
It started with a clothing brand. So that's why I always say find the purpose first, because then you know what you're working towards, and then you forget about, trying to portray who you are through piercings and fucking, wearing all these fucking weird clothes and shit. Just find your purpose and just do that. I found the purpose. I started making the clothes. And then I started doing that, and I got so caught up in like the tasks of like, I'm making these clothes, and then we finally got that sample. We finally got that sample hoodie made, and then I held the sample, and I'm like, this is fucking, this is really sick. I'm really doing something here. Like, this is really dope. And then the friends started wearing it. And then I started up, and people started getting around it. And then I made more stuff, and I think this is actually really cool. Like, I'm starting to feel better actually, because I have like this vision now. And then then I started making more stuff, and I started thinking about the bigger picture. What if I opened like a pop-up shop? And then we opened up a pop-up shop, and we did that, and we had like a community around us, and everyone was wearing the stuff, and we got people to buy the stuff, come around, and just doing all that. Like, that is so fulfilling, because that is, as a man, is what you're supposed to do. It's like, you can think back to the primal days when people were starting up all these kingdoms and empires, building up these clans and stuff. They did it because it fulfills them, and it provides them a purpose. But that was literally what got me out. And then I'd say while I was doing that, I was still a bit up and down, and I'd say I was still pretty fucked. But then it was also when I got into the gym and I saw you lifting the weights.
And I just remember it was because I was benching so much more than you.
Yeah, he was benching so much more than you. I think I've always been the bigger guy. Like, what the fuck's going on here? So yeah, then I got on the bench, and that's like another thing. If you weren't there and I wasn't surrounded by you, I would have never started going to the gym. I can honestly say I probably would have never started. So, yeah, and then that's sort of what completed it for me, was going to the gym and then building up my physical exercise. And then also having that purpose on top of that. That's what made me so, I don't know, just so much better. That's what flipped it around for me. And that's why I always say fitness. So tick the fitness one off, tick the purpose one off, and that's just going to do most of the work for you.
And it's all just like uphill from there, isn't it?
It's uphill from there. That's what I say. And now it's automatic. Now this is what I love to do, and this is why I'm sitting in this couch now with all these cameras and these microphones and Lockie here, switching the cameras and stuff. Like, this is fucking dope, but this wouldn't have happened if I never flipped those little things.
Yeah. I pretty much had a similar story. Like, mine was more like, I did shave my head, but that was just out of boredom.
Oh, so before you go on though, I just want to say something that is really telling of society. And this was really scary. Like, this is why I respect Hayden as well, because you were the only person that did this. While I was going through this whole fucking crisis, no one told me, like, no one fucking went up to me and was like, yo, you need to change.
Wasn't it actually someone that said they saw you out in public? And
this is what also flipped with me. Someone saw me in public and they're like, he looks like a junkie now. They actually said that, and that was like, fuck, man. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, what the fuck? I was actually high as well, because I was always high, and I looked, I was like, what the fuck? You know, I need to, what the fuck? And I was like looking back to my old videos where I was like mentally all there. I'm like, holy shit, I used to be so much better. But yeah, that's like so telling of, you know, everyone's so scared to tell you that something's wrong with you. Everyone's so scared to say, are you alright? Like, what the fuck? You need to sort yourself out. You need to get your shit sorted. Everyone's too scared to call him fat, because it's like, everyone's so scared to say, oh, you're fat, you should go to the gym, because, you know, society's like, you can't say that now. You'll get cancelled, you'll get banned.
It protects people's feelings over hard truths. You need to surround yourself with people who tell you the truth every single time.
Yeah, that's right. That is why I'm so harsh with like my mates now and stuff, is because like that is what they need to hear. And that's going to be more beneficial than saying, no, that's all right. All good, man.
Yeah, yes men are dangerous.
Yes men are so dangerous.
Yeah.
That's why everyone was around me just watching me fuck my life up. And I was like, what the fuck? When I came out, I was like, what the
But like, then again, we were sort of all fucking our lives up together.
Yeah, that's right. But everyone else was so conditioned to say that's all right, you know.
Group effort.
But like, I don't care. I'll sit here and say this on the internet because I don't care, because now I've changed it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about it if I was still in it.
Yeah.
But now I'm out of it. So Will's was very similar and parallel to mine though, because he's my twin.
I am your twin, so it was very parallel. But
Except I think you were a bit smarter about it.
You slept
yeah,
at
well,
school.
I'm slightly autistic, so I've always been a little bit more careful about stuff. I've always thought stuff out a lot more. But my change more was when I looked at my body. I've always been very critical of my own body. Like, I've never wanted to be anywhere near out of shape, and I was starting to get that way, simply because this was when COVID was going on and I was in school, and I was just looking in the mirror. I'm like, I haven't had a six-pack for months, because I've always just naturally had like a six-pack, but I was like, because I was skinny. But I was like, I've got a six-pack, fuck yeah. But I like literally lost that. I started getting these like estrogenic like little
properties,
gyno titties, and like my arms look like little noodles just hanging off. I wonder if there's a photo like there. I didn't.
Yeah, we'll chuck the photo up for sure.
But yeah, I sort of looked in the mirror and I was like, I look worse than literally everyone. So that's when I bought a bench press off Facebook Marketplace, and I bought some weights. I would literally hang milk cartons off the bar just to be able to get like the correct weight.
Do you know why you did that? Is because you wanted it so bad.
I wanted it so bad. I was like, I look like shit. No one respects me. I'm like, I had no social skills because I was autistic as well. So I pretty much, I bought the weights. I was pretty much only doing sit-ups and bench press for like ages. So I just got these like pecs. And then I started doing shoulder press with these other weights. And I started looking better. I'm like, this is fucking sick. So that was like, I would literally think all day about going home and just hitting that bench press.
Yeah.
Like trying to get the number up. Because I started at such a low number. I think I was benching like 40 kilos to start. And I was like, fuck it. Today I'm going to hit 42. Tomorrow I'm going to hit 45. I was literally telling all my classmates, okay, boys, today I hit 50 kilos. I had like 3 milk cartons on each side, plus some weights.
But notice how you just instantly switched to that so much more of a positive mindset.
My mindset went like that. Because before it was just like, I think my goal was to like build my Minecraft server.
Yeah, you're just so lost. You don't know what it is that will fix it, but you're just so lost. You're
Exactly.
like, oh,
but it was just that, because I had these goals every day. Like, I was sitting in class just itching to go hit the bench, increase the number, and then eventually I bought some more equipment, started doing bicep curls and stuff like that, and it was just like, from there, that was just my sole purpose. And then I was just like, fuck it, let's get the diet in check too. Let's get the diet in check.
That's why I get so angry when I see people saying, oh, gym's your whole personality. Like, you made gym, like, you know, you're gay or whatever. It's like, just shut the fuck up, because like people, they didn't have much before that. Exactly. And like having a purpose, no matter what the purpose is, like I don't care whether you have the purpose to make the next, you know, change the iPhone or something, whatever your purpose is, so be it. Make that your fucking purpose.
Well, it's funny because the change in people's attitude is crazy as well. It's like, until you're actually up, people just give you so much shit. Like, I remember I used to go to my school locker and like grab my protein shake and like trust color when no one was looking, to be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You got your protein shake?
Yeah, you bring tuna to school and everyone's like, fuck off, what are you having tuna for?
Fucking
what are you trying to prove? Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's like, but that was because I looked like shit while I was doing it, because I was just starting up. But then I started like getting, I started looking better, I started posting physique pictures, and then now people are just like,
hang on, this
bro, I want to go to gym with you. Like that, you're crazy, man. Mad respect, bro. It's like, I don't know. You just gotta be in your own. You gotta be so certain in your own mind.
And that's what going to gym will do. It will give you so much confidence that you're like, fuck everyone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck everyone else. And also going back to what you were saying before with like progressive overload, how you'll get just those numbers up. I think progressive overload could be really good for just starting out, because you're going to be so focused on the numbers and getting it up. It's going to give you sort of that growth mindset, and also you're going to be getting a better physique as a byproduct of that.
It's like, find a metric that you just want to improve. Like, say for instance, that's your body weight. You want to reduce it, or you want to gain body weight, or you want to hit more numbers on the bench, or you want to deadlift more. Like, find something that you can improve in, like, week after week.
Yeah.
Just focus on that, and that'll just be your, like, in your mind.
From the start anyway. You can do like from the start, and then when you really get into gym, then you can start working on different, properties and variables, tracking this and tracking that.
Start simple.
You're lost at the start. At the start, just focus on one thing.
How'd you say your story went?
Mine started because I was like absolutely shocking at school. I couldn't do anything, like even if I tried, because I'm dyslexic and I struggle to concentrate. And so mum came up with the suggestion of dropping out when I was, I think, 15.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't regret that, because school I would have just done absolutely nothing with my life and like just wasted time.
Yeah.
So I did that, but I was really hating the job. Like within the first month I injured my shoulder and I'm still having problems with it. So I think that's when I started, because I was just injured all the time. And then like during the COVID thing, that like not seeing anyone, like you guys were still allowed to go out and see each other. I wasn't allowed to see anyone for like 8 months, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which really fucked it up. And then parents got divorced. I had the worst injury in my life.
Yeah.
And then I was just getting a bunch of shit bosses because I quit my job because I was hating it. Then I was just getting a bunch of dickhead bosses. And then best mate became sick, and like that's when it really... And I was drinking every weekend.
I was just going to mention that, like, I was with you when you were drinking as well, and I could just say that was not beneficial for you. No way. Because you used to get in these like crazy fucking sort of not fits, what do you call them, just outbursts.
Yeah,
because it makes you so unstable when you drink.
Yeah, well, and also because like I was such a little shy cunt back then. Like I wouldn't say anything. I was so shy. I wouldn't... Yeah, so, and then when I drink, I get this fake confidence. And
that's exactly right.
And so, yeah, I had all that happen to me. And then it was... What actually made me start to turn around was when I got my license and I was surfing, like, every single day.
Yeah.
And I would literally, like, not go to parties. I'd stop drinking just because I wanted to be right to go surfing. Because I fucking love surfing. I surfed, like, years before, but I had no way to get there.
Yeah.
And then Will introduced me to gym. But before that, I was like, fuck gym, a waste of time.
Yeah.
Fuck would I do that? And then I started doing gym. First day, I think I deadlifted 160. Bench press like 80 kilos or something. I was like, fuck, I was made for this. I was already like, first month, I like made mad gains. And then ever since then, it just turned around, and I've like just gone up from there.
And also because once you've seen your physique change, you're probably everything else changed. And then also because you're with me and Will now so much, and we're doing like business stuff or we're doing content stuff, you're like, fuck, I should do this too.
Yeah,
like, that's what they're doing doesn't look that hard.
What actually made it like love it even more, I keep wanting to do it, is when I remember 3 months in, we went to Cowes Beach, and I remember I was walking with no shirt off, and this kid just came up to me and said, "Fuck, you look massive, man. Keep it up." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna keep."
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like,
it's that positive feedback. That's what makes it so addicting.
Yeah, the positive feedback is what's made me want to keep doing it, and like people literally saying they want to start going to the gym because they want to look like me.
Yeah. You're like a big ball of positive energy once you start improving.
Yeah. I've turned into a role model, basically.
Yeah.
Made me
you turn it, it's like, it feels like egotistical to say that, but like once you turn to sort of that role model and you turn into a good influence for other people, that's just, it makes it so addicting.
And like with my confidence has gone through the roof with like when it comes to gym, looking better, which is also the testosterone thing, I reckon, going up
100%.
And looking better in general. Yeah, just more confident. Like I don't have to drink to go out anymore. I know I used to never talk to anyone, and now I talk to whoever I want with like full confidence. And
it's crazy.
It's crazy how just shit changes. I think it's the positive feedback loop. Like when you start seeing little improvements, that's when you want to keep making little improvements, and I think that's when you get into that spiral, that snowball effect. It's like First Man said this, is like there's a downward spiral, but there's also an upward spiral that you can get into.
Yeah.
I think that's when you really start taking off, when you enter that upward spiral.
Yeah. That's why I just want to promote this message so much. It's because once you get started and in the groove, it can just flip your life around. So like it could only be like, it could be just this one podcast that people listen to and change that. It could be one of your videos, it could be one of your videos, that maybe they watch one of my videos or Rory's videos. And that one video changes their whole mentality, and then they just build up the habit, and then they get into that upward snowball effect.
I guarantee you, if you do gym for a month without skipping a day, it will become like brushing your teeth. It's just a part of the day that you have to do that. Like
that's the exact thing I tell everyone. They're like, "How do you just stick to it so much, man?" I'm like, "Bro, the hardest things for me are rest days."
Yeah.
I love gym, bro. Like, and it just comes from just doing it, like just forcing yourself to do it for a month or 2 months. Like I reckon that's probably the range, like a month to 2 months.
Yeah.
And after that, it's literally just gonna be part of your routine.
Even the days where I genuinely don't want to do it, like I wake up and I just can't be fucked, I still would rather do it than not do anything.
Exactly.
Because I feel better at the end of the day. I've made progress. I've done something I don't want to do.
I almost beg people. I'm like, bro, just just stick to it.
Yeah.
Stick to it for a month,
to it, mate.
please, because after that you won't thank me enough because you'll just be sticking to it.
If you guys are listening on Spotify or you're watching this on YouTube and you're thinking about, okay, maybe I should, and you're not going to gym already, maybe thinking I should go to gym, but waiting for more money to get a gym membership, or I'm waiting for this or for that. Fuck off. Do it right now. Literally do it tomorrow. If it's nighttime, do it tomorrow. Do it now, actually, even if it's nighttime. Just start doing push-ups. Do push-ups, do sit-ups. I don't give a fuck.
You can do anything. Like, when I started, I just wanted it so bad. I was like, I need to do this ASAP. I didn't go out and try to find a gym. I didn't find a way to get... I literally just... I found a bar. I found a bench. I just, like, stocked up on all the milk cartons, filled them up with water. I had like them sitting in like shopping bags attached to the bar. I'm like, fuck it, this will do. And I made gains doing that. Like,
If you're waiting for all these variables to be correct in order for you to do something, that's putting yourself in the complete wrong mental pattern too.
That's how I know you're in the wrong mental state to start with.
Yes.
Because you don't want it bad enough.
Yeah. The biggest excuse I hate is the equipment's not good enough. So do you remember the first gym photo I really took was in a month of working out in your garage with just shitty weights.
Yeah, you just come to our garage.
Progress in just a shitty garage.
Yep.
Like,
and all we had was like, we didn't have that heavy weights. We only had like these 20s.
10 kilos was the heaviest.
10 kilos, yeah.
Like, even just fill up a bag of heavy like books and just curl it. I've literally I've made a home gym that requires no equipment, and you will make gains for it. I'm gonna release that whenever. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's gonna be free, and it doesn't
all free.
any equipment.
It's all free. I think you've even got one too, don't you? Just a free workout program.
Free diet program.
Free diet program.
There you go, combine my free diet program.
Free diet program.
You don't have to buy mine. Mine's free.
Free. It's all fucking free, boys.
You don't need any. Like, it's easy.
There you go. You can combine the diet and the workout program, and you'll look good in 6 months.
Yep.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, we're probably stretching it out for almost 2 hours now, so we'll wrap it up. I hope this really helped you guys out. And like I said before, if you're watching this and you are thinking about actually implementing these things, do not get paralysis analysis. It's so easy to look at this stuff and think about all the different things, and then you look up other videos on, do I need this? And you look up other videos on like, this guy's saying this and this guy's saying that. Well, I'm telling you now, just get in the fucking gym and start there, or just get in the fighting gym, or, you know.
Should I say something? Like, if you're watching this podcast right now, turn it off now and just go for a run. Come back and you'll feel good. Like,
Listen to it while you run.
Yeah, keep it on, chuck in your headphones, go for a run, come back. Like,
Give you more motivation.
That's it. But here's the thing, then do it the next day too. Don't just do it that one day and then quit. But anyway, let's wrap up there. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to this on Spotify, add this to your playlist. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you subscribe and hit that bell notification, that would be heaps appreciated. These episodes are released Friday, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Every Friday, we don't miss a week. So there's always going to be different subjects we're discussing. Everything self-improvement. It's going to help you guys get to that next level. His socials are just up here. Hayden, his socials are up here. We're all on the same shit. We're all helping you guys get to the next level. And with that being said, I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.
Peace, lads.